Welcome to Digimon Talk. As this is for our card game for the channel, because we gotta go back to the good old reliable Digimon card game where this was based off of. We are going to discuss about two decks that are currently in the format. That one that me and Valhalla have been going crazy off, and Game Matter has done nothing in America. And then, as you can see, Gallantmon X. Lux's most powerful deck, and the one that he kills people a lot with, and he still says he's not powerful.
I don't know, man. Don't be sending them no false information. I
All
have done
right,
nothing.
let's talk about this Gallantmon X deck. As much as we know about it right now, Gallantmon X been has gained a lot of power boosts in the game, which honestly I'm fine with. What about what do you what do you guys say?
It's fair and balanced, as all things should be. Especially as more balanced than Agumon and his myriad of Greymons.
Oh, 100%. But
Of course, it's been good for a while. You can't improve on perfection.
well, so as you can see, one of the new cards that has
It's from
given it
Hades Force in every
is
10
what I
seconds.
would like to call Agumon X upgraded. Now, I'm gonna call it Agumon X upgraded.
Count original.
It is basically he has the main effect of Agumon X instead of looking for a Greymon or and a Greymon in name or an X antibody. It's Gallantmon or Growlmon in name and an X antibody. But what it also does, it continues. What makes it better is Agumon X, the one that everyone plays, doesn't have this inheritor effect of any inheritor effect. This Galmon X does. So honestly, this card's already good as it is, and then they made it even better. What do you guys think? If you look at the new Gilmon X, Lux, this is your deck essentially.
It's perfect. The one stipulation I dislike about the deck itself is that it has to rely on the for the profile we saw, it uses the X antibody option cards, which to me can brick a deck very easily.
That's very much fair as a Greymon player. Yeah, I understand that, but I think
My
you guys
philosophy is that if
can
you can just X climb, then you're pretty much solid. Especially if, which is why Cool Boy exists.
which you guys are playing at too.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you
And
playing
even
the
if
X
we're not, we
antibody.
got
Plus, they
Wave.
play the X antibody proto form. So this is another good one too. So it's not as bad, honestly. Uh, Valhalla, what do you think about the new Gilmon X? Well, let's ask the resident Gilmon. How much searching were you having a search problem or was it a peace problem before Lux?
Honestly, well, this is just my build. I had no real problem. 90% of the time, my strategy was the good old Digivolution climb, drop the good old EX2 gap Guilmon on the field,
which is
start
stupid.
start building from there. The only issue I would say that the deck had when I played was at the time not a lot of good forward evolutions and X evolution climbs, especially when you're rolling with the Lord and Savior Guilmon X. So we didn't have a lot of off rip on evolution attack, cause some damage. But other than that, eh, the other issue we had was our level fours not having a lot of variations.
Honestly, as I'm looking at the new thing, and I think Valhalla is the
Because
same
here's my
way.
question: the new set with the X8, the Graumon X antibody, when when Digivolving, draw. So you're basically drawing a whole nother card off of Digivolving, and then its effect to Digivolve is to draw again, and then trash a card in your hand. And
No,
if
the new
it's a
effect of
card,
the EX8 is reveal the top three, add a card with Groundmon or Gallantmon in its
yeah,
name,
then if it's
and
a whole
one
nother
X antibody
stipulation.
card among them, return the rest of the bottom of the deck. Okay. Which one? Which other? Are you thinking of the other, the other Gilmon X?
No, I'm looking at the Growlmon X.
I'm Groundmon X.
Yeah, EX8 Growlmon X.
Oh, I heard Gilmon. That is my fault. And as you
The
guys,
fact that it,
as the audience will have to learn, I apparently I cannot hear sometimes, and I hear the wrong things, and everyone's just looking like they will be looking at me, being like, "Are you stupid right now? Am I wrong, gentlemen?"
as our captain, I will have, since you're the captain, I must say, of course. As your friend, I must make fun of you for it.
I would expect nothing less. Okay, so we're looking at this new Ramon X. Well, we don't even Valhalla finishes typing. Yeah. Okay. So I because I know I did. I guess I just still was thinking Gilma. Okay. Look at the Groundmon. Draw one, trash a card in your hand. Then it Groundmon. Honestly, that's still not bad. And this is coming for some. I know this is basically stealing. This is basically taking from your freaking remember your Biazamon deck, the level 5. But instead of
Mm-hmm.
getting a Gallantmon like it did with a freaking
Then again, Bielzman was just
yeah.
busted for no reason because he was just amazing.
But this is not bad, honestly. The do you have you? I feel like this is really not bad because let's say you go because technically, hearing me out, you go because this can you can literally knowing that somebody. So if somebody blocks you, deletes the Digimon, you get to play and you have more than 20 cards in trash, you could play EX4 Gilmon and go for game. Am I wrong?
Say that one more time
So
because I
let's
think
say
I
you're
missed a step
ending,
there.
you have a regular Gilmon or in your racing area, you move up, Digivolve onto Groundmon X, have have X antibody underneath it, attack, someone blocks. Obviously, it's higher. Obviously, you don't have piercing, so it gets deleted. And since you have 20 or you have 20 or more, you have 20 more in trash. You can now get from is these say hand or trash? From trash, you can play EX4 Gilmon for game because you can have already 20 more Digimon, 20 more cards in your trash already. It gives you an extra way to go for game.
That is correct. So it's so you're right. It's almost like the Beelzemon deck. However, does it check both? It checks both players' trash, or does it check specifically my trash?
Both players trash is your Gilmon.
Galemon or Galamon?
Gilmon. Gilmon says if both players
All
trash
right, I
contains
forgot
20
the
more cards
low
in his
the
Digimon
rush
game.
one, the rush one.
If you're going for a game and as you're gonna have more than 20 cards in trash already by yourself. This one just says on deletion, play a Gilmon in its name from your trash without paying its costs. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Valhalla?
Why I'm agreeing with you at this point. Like, mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Because I'm seeing this, I'm like, I don't. This okay. Did you? This is the also your War Groundmon X, the new one. Until the end of your
Which
opponent's
one?
turn.
The Ace?
No, War Groundmon X, the new one, EX8. Before we get to the 8, that Ace card's been out for a while. I think don't you have it?
No, probably, but probably not.
This okay until the end of your the X one is until the end of your opponent's turn. This Digimon can't be returned to the hand or deck again without DP. Then if this one has oh heck, oh, it does not give you freaking. This is your level 5 freaking Alphamon card all over again.
Eh, 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 and look, he has every red deck's favorite inherited effect. Security attack +1.
For
You know
those
what
who don't know,
puppy.
Lux plays Alphamon as well.
That's why the whole gimmick is that we are the Royal Knights.
Yep. So he plays Alphamon as well. And right now, one of the biggest things is that he is currently what he currently killed this card. A card that he got bad, Doro Greymon, which I still think should be unbanned.
At this point, it should be. However, the implications that it can be used in other decks, yeah, it could work.
And that's one of the main reasons why we understand it's not
Didn't deserve its
unbanned.
ban. Free my
So
man Dory.
yes, so it's it's base. This is basically the same thing, but this can only be in freaking Gallantmon. And honestly, that's no problem with that. I just don't want. I just know when he is playing this deck, I'm going to might have to tape him to a chair. Valhalla, do you disagree with me? This is Doru Greymon, but better. But it isn't. But it's very much. They literally locked it. It's second good. Its second effect, which is good to to this archetype.
Fair and balanced as all things should be. Fair and balanced as all things should be.
Mind you, this doesn't. This just says bounce from the hand or deck. not it can't be de-digivolved. So it still can be de-digivolved. Because that's what Dora Gromon said. True, we can't. We gotta see this deck in action. We might get some video for the channel on DPO. See how this deck plays later on. We'll just have to see if
Like, I
anyone has free so we can see it. All right.
mean, with all that, like I said, the decks I play are basically fair and can be beaten. And I'm
Uh,
not a threat in card games.
we'll
Is
go
the
next is
is the
Warground on Ace because I'm pretty sure that Lux has the card, but he says he doesn't know.
Groundmon War
Warground on
Groundmon, or
Ace.
just I don't think I have the AC yet. It's on my to-do list.
All right. Well, on play, when Digivolve delete 3,000 DP total worth of your opponent's Digimon for each of their Digimon, add 2,000 DP to the max Digimon effect. Then for each card deleted, gain one memory. It's your
See,
basic solid Ace
it,
card that works with the deck because the deck can
uh,
increase DP destruction as well. Oh, you don't feel like this card is necessary?
no. It is great. It is perfect. I
Yeah.
want you to understand the Growlmon original gimmick of Growlmon was the whole increasing its power target in battle.
Mm-hmm. With the new with how it is with how it is looking like a lot of your you would most likely be playing this on top of the Groundmon from BT19 because that's the one that increases its boost. You'll be playing this with Gilmon from BT19 as well. So it's kind of being said that this is more likely that's the lane of
It's a
line
quick
that you want to play this
it's a
on,
quick
but it's
jab
it's not
Digimon.
really your main focus.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, it doesn't hurt, but it's not bad.
All right.
You
Toggle
he
list
had
to a
this
bunch
he
Digi
we did
for
okay.
each
So for
Digimon hit
everyone we know, this
for each of
is
their Digimon
it's level
animals.
6 and level 7 is very heavily on secret rare and
Oh,
super rare and
okay.
secrets. This
I see what it does now.
this is being mindful. We
It's a
literally
one-off
pulled
effect.
Galamon, the BT13 Galamon, while we were looking for a whole different card.
Okay, so
So
I'd
that's
like to retract the statement for the Wallgram on Ace.
right.
Please imagine building into Warground on Ace.
Off the rip,
Keep in mind,
you're gonna be 17 DP for each opponent's Digimon. That's an extra 2,000. So at most, so you're in the range of 9,000 to I want to say 13 to 15,000. Minimum 11,000 to 13,000 as your minimum. You're then and
mhm,
then you gain and then for each and then
and it's a total worth. So I
right.
could technically wipe out more than one line.
Correct. You can focus on one Digimon or you can focus on smaller Digimon. So it's basically it's a
A game of
board wipe.
padding.
This is
And
your most
depending on
your this
which
is your
monitor is
favorite
lining
card,
up,
Hades Force, but on a Digimon.
mm, kind of. There is a big stipulation because remember, this is still an ace card.
Obviously. Here's the thing. You're blast you are blast evolution. This is a defensive card. You're blast evolution this 9 times out of 10. And in doing so, you're giving yourself you're no matter how anyone is seeing this, you are wiping the board, and if they're literally at 0, you are taking back their turn, or if they have multiple cards and they're at max minimum 2 or 1, 2 to 1, you're knowing you're taking into your turn. So I'm gonna say this right now. This card right here synergizes with the deck so freaking well, but you can't not just play this in any deck. Does that make any sense?
Mhm.
Va- Valhalla? Okay. And that's the main thing I want to, because I don't know. Uh, what do you guys think so far?
Besides the fact that this is a good contending deck that, in all honestly, is a good red purplish deck, but it's
It's
a
expensive, but
red
it's just a
heavy
regular.
deck.
It's just it's just a different art style of blue eyes, right?
What the heck? Just heard my voice. Is that what I sound like on this recording? This sucks. How dare you?
Hold on. I was seeing something real quick.
That's how you know the captain hates me.
No, because I'm trying to make sure the audio is going through. All right. Next is Galamon X Antibody, a card that's gonna cost this every freaking Galamon player apparently an armor and leg.
Yeah. Galatmon
It's only
X
40. It's really just 43
Antibody,
bucks at
the
the current
red,
moment.
blue, and yellow.
Red, blue, yellow. Yeah.
When digivolving and attacking, if Galamon or X Antibody in this Digimon's Digivolutions source, this card gains an extra 4,000 DP, and one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4,000 DP to the end of this turn. And that is every time you attack when you're attacking. It's not a once per. That's great. Now, also, when Digivolves delete when your opponent's Digimon with a 10,000 DP or less, if this Digimon didn't delete or if
If
this effect doesn't delete, trash your opponent's top security card, and this Digimon is unsuspended. So it kept its old effect
added the new effect.
and gave itself a whole new effect that's darn near continuously.
Yep.
Because once you do your first whole attack, you're all set. However, it is the when digivolving effect that really helps you out if you use this as like a end game board. Just to piece down an opponent's Digimon. And since it's already in the 10,000 DP marker, this boy is already taking down any level 5 and below.
Mhm.
And because of whatever you have stacked underneath him, you are clearly going to be wiping out anyone's level 6 Digimon. Which means, and I'll state this again, it's a fair and balanced card because it's an X antibody. So you have to make sure you got the stipulation of having it X evolve onto a Galantmon. Using it as just its basis, it's kind of useless unless you are downright devious enough to put the little X antibody option card underneath it.
Honestly,
Which is
you. I
why,
think you
despite my
still will
hatred
be
towards the X
doing that.
antibody option card, this is a worth combo.
I still think this is
But he does not count towards certain certain card effects that let you search him out.
here's the thing. You're not. Here's the thing. What makes this card broken is its all turns effects.
You know what you mean? Is all turns effects. You can ignore that. It doesn't say while you have 0 or less memory, this Digimon isn't affected by the effects of your opponent's Digimon. Ignore that. That doesn't exist. In fact, I'm speaking a whole nother language. It's a perfectly balanced
Valhalla.
card that just get hit by Hades Force.
Yes, you get hit by Hades first, yes. But Valhalla, do you not agree with me? With how the game may be transforming and how it's been showing that even though that a lot of more cards are focusing being not affected by Digimon effects, but while cards still affecting other Digimon effects, does this does this all turns affect? not make this really powerful.
Man.
You gotta give him his second.
No, I understand. You weren't supposed to know
Gallimon
that.
X.
The trick was to ignore it and let me exist with my beautiful power.
Well, I'm not saying you're not. If this is a secret, it better have that last text line, in my honest opinion. Do you get my point? So if it doesn't, and this is a secret, and people are paying $40 for for this to be a secret, I'm like, nah. Yeah, being over this will be really tough.
No, there's ways to beat over it. Uh-huh. There's
You're
definitely
gonna
ways
be
to beat
at
over it.
16,000 until the end of your opponent's turn, or end of your
Exactly,
turn. My
exactly.
bad.
It's not a permanent boost. 4,000
So
DP
you'll be at four.
gain.
At most, you'll be at 4,000 if you're
It'll
using.
be 60.
I'm trying to find the. If you're using BT12 Growlmon, 4,000 right there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So you have 14,000. 14,000 is already tough to already beat.
Keep in mind, this is also cheap if you have, in my goal, the golden rule of three. If you have those three tamers on the field, yes, this is impossible to lose to. Because you're already gaining
You
a crap
also
ton of
get
momentum, so
raid.
you're already flooding.
You
Oh
also
yeah, we
get
get raid.
raid.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, no. You also get raid because I was trying. I was. They don't play the other Takato that gives you the extra boost, DP boost. So, but you get raid instead. This is gonna be difficult to beat, and let's not pretend that it's not. It's gonna be difficult to beat, and this is being mindful. This is not blocking though. Is blocking an effect? No, blocking is not an effect, right? It's a game mechanic. Valhalla, because it says it's not affected by effects. So I'm when I think effects is like when the redirection attack, Black War Greymon X, but blocking is not an effect. Yeah, that's because if this can, because this is being muffled. If this bypass blocking, you know what's gonna happen, right? You get raid and you bypass blocking. All you're missing is piercing.
Piercing, but that's only a myth. No one has ever seen piercing in a game like this before.
You see me use piercing multiple times. What the heck are you talking about?
I'm trying to keep my stuff from getting touched by the band hammer.
It's not gonna get. Oh, it's gonna
You
get banned,
can't
but
say it. You can't say you don't know that.
no.
Anything can get hit by the Bandai band hammer, which is technically just restricted to one, which is fine. But the fact of the matter is, I don't
Well,
like my stuff getting touched by the
does this
band
deck
hammer of
die if
Bandai.
Galmon X is at one? That's now my question. Valhalla, Lux, does this deck die if this card's at one?
You want my honest answer?
Yes.
Well, we'll wait for Valhalla's answer because, as the resident Guilmon fan, well, basically that entire season is my favorite.
Okay. He says no. He doesn't think so. I have to agree with Valhalla.
Well, since you all agree, then I guess I don't really need to say my answer here
Say
now,
your
don't
answer.
I? Unfortunately, this does not hurt the deck whatsoever because Gallantmon is superior to the other main line teams. Especially since it's better to be a one off than a brick.
So you're telling me right now you can go back to the old Gallopmon X and at 2 and have this at 1 and you'll be perfectly fine.
Yes, unless of course I find something better to be that implication, because Gallantmon X, the original one, the one that I've mained, is still pretty solid. Heck, I could put that down at 1, add another Gallantmon in the deck, and it wouldn't matter because there's a Gallantmon that does a similar effect to ripping my opponent's security. Because that's mainly the game. Rip
So
your opponent's
basic
security
so
before you start
as
throwing swings.
so what Valhalla is saying, it don't matter. This card is great, not necessarily needed. This if this guy hit, even though he doesn't want it to get hit, very much understandable. But we're both. But I feel like this is where we're on the opposite end of the spectrum. When Greymon X, or I will call it Virus Greymon X, because that's Black War Greymon's X anybody came out.
Mhm.
That Greymon X, that version, the level 4, the one I refuse to play. You can ask Valhalla, you can ask Lux. I did not play that. And I knew this would make the deck even powerful. I just refused to play it for 2 reasons. One, I knew it was powerful and they would have killed me. And two, I knew it was really they would have beat me up in the parking lot.
Huh. Funny you think you're going to make it to the parking lot.
My point exactly. Valhalla, do you disagree? Do
I
you
mean,
disagree that you would
no,
have
we're
not helped them jump
friends.
me?
We would never do such a horrible thing to. Where's my bat?
Okay, sorry about that. Uh, so what did Valhalla say? What's up? So I was saying that when Greymon X, I didn't play it. I knew how powerful it was, and I still refused to play it. And though it's the same thing it's the same thing with Galmon X. If it when it because we seen it because basically we already seen it with Greymon X. This is just level 6 Greymon X, where if this is hit to 1, it doesn't affect the deck. Does anybody disagree?
Mm,
Because when Greymon X, the one that reduces the play cost, the play cost, digivolution cost per different color, multicolor, it's that was broken, and as I said, I didn't play it.
yep, yep. See. Let's
Okay,
listen to
we can.
Ball. He's out
I'm not
here
gonna
on my
argue
side.
this as apples to oranges. But I'm seeing that we've seen this already. Where if like that, like we knew that Blackboard didn't die when X antibody got the Greymon X antibody got hit. It made I believe it got even better. What killed it was that the it just got phased out of the format. Where with Gallantmon X, you can lose this, but you can replace this so easily that it doesn't change the deck at all. But it's I comparing it to the similarities that if they're both at 1, we have no one has a worry.
I mean, it also takes into consideration that when you think about it, Gallantmon, when comparing the two of Gallantmon and
Because
when
honestly, even
comparing
at this point, I'm
Gallantmon
seeing it.
to
This
uh,
tamer ratio is basically just the Greymon tamer ratio. 2 cool boys, 2 ties, 3 ties, offensive training boost, X antibody, and instead of Red Rebel, it was the red memory boost. All right. Yeah, everything's always better with them. I don't disagree. I just, again, I just didn't, even though being a Greymon player, I didn't feel like we needed that support. It was nice support, but it wasn't needed. So I felt like the deck got better because it was hit to one. But okay, I'm not getting even, like you said, it is an apples to oranges situation. But let's down it saying this Galmon X is worth being. Okay, do you guys feel like this card is worth the price then? The
Yes.
uh $43. $43.
As a one of, yes.
$43.
Because it's a pretty strong X, and if you use it as that and you enter a couple of tournaments, you kind of make bank back as long as you're not fighting something that shuts down your entire life. Yeah, we're looking at you, Machine Dramon, and we're looking at you, Hades.
Mostly Machine Dramon. You're still affected by Hades
Or if you're
Force.
fighting it.
You're still affected
However,
by Hades
there's
Force.
also the drawback of fighting someone competent enough.
All right. Then BT7 Galmon, it's completely. It's just BT7 Galmon is something that we already know of. That we already know BT17 Galmon and Crimson Mode. And then obviously BT20's Omnimon X has been obviously like the best Omnimon to go with as it is. Something that I know I gotta pay money just to get to, but add to my Black War Greymon deck. Let me tell you the price of that one. It is $45. Am I thinking of paying $45? Yes. Yes, I am. Am I disappointing myself? Yes. Yes, I am.
Yeah, pretty much. There's literally no problem with this card at it as its whole.
Yeah. If they, does he have an alt art? I don't know. I don't want to know because if it does, I don't want to see that price. But we're gonna see if it has an alt art.
If it has one, then
Oh
can
yeah, it has
I?
an alt art.
I'll. What's its
Gentlemen,
price?
gentlemen, this alt art is insane. No, that's not the. This is the texture alt art. Though I know this is the texture alt art, I still am choosing to be putting that in the chat. Do that's oh my god. It's regular alt art. It's $100.
Mm.
I'm sending the regular alt art in the chat right now so you guys can see it too.
Mm.
The texture is looks
Mm.
so freaking great. Why can't we never we have yet to pull a texture card, and I'm not about to spend money to try to pull a texture card though.
Oh, that is clean. It
The
definitely reminds me of when we first saw the Omnimons, the
yeah,
Blitz one.
yeah. I might if when
When
this
we
goes down
first,
in price,
who
I
was the
most
first one
likely
to
would
pull
pick this
one?
up.
Was it me? Or was it you? I know
What?
one of us pulled the Omnimon.
I did. I pulled both Omnimon. We well, let's see. You pulled no first. You pulled the Omnimon Swartz. I pulled the no. I pulled the Ruin mode for Shine Greymon.
Ah, let there be a lesson to everyone. I am not a threat. He is.
we're not. Let's not talk
Oh, with
about
great power
pulling
comes with
cards
great
because we pulled enough.
responsibility.
We
Nah,
have
fam.
pulled. We have pulled enough cards that made us worth us buying so many boxes. That I can agree with. But honestly, when I want to get the or the alternate release of this one because the alternate art for this one because it looks really clean. And then I'm looking at the dude. Somebody in Japan is has a Japanese version, and it looks even better. I mean, it's only $4 less than an American, but
I mean, it's Japan. 90% of the time, their stuff is goated.
it just look for some reason it looks cleaner in Japanese. Cause the isn't me because the lines look a lot smaller in Japanese. It's the same size, is it not? Either way, yeah, this is the alternate art. I am honestly, yeah. For some, this deck this deck has so many secrets. This deck is really expensive. And then, did X Antibody Protoform went down in price? Does anybody know if it went down in price?
Uh,
I'm about to check,
I
but I
just say,
want.
oh wow, he pulled the Japanese version. Look at that. If Protophone went down in price, there had to have been a sash. I lost.
Okay, no, it's still expensive. 33,
That fucking
30,
Goblin Mummy's
29 is
dead.
the cheapest.
Dang
And
it.
yeah, it's because it's super rare. I think that's what really hurts. This card's a super rare. If it wasn't a super rare, it would be a I don't know, $10 at most, but still. All right. With with the Galamon being the first of the two decks we were discussing, Valhalla, shall we go into Mastamon?
Yeah, so let's talk about the fallen ascended beast that made it that won the that topped in the land down under. Gosh,
Okay.
stupid undead panda.
All right. I have the deck ready. Just waiting for Valhalla to. Okay, we'll figure that one out and inform them on the next thing or during the podcast because this should be up before or after before the podcast because it's getting uploaded right after we're done with the Mastermind discussion. We're going to Mastermind. You ready?
I'm about as ready as I'll ever be.
All right. So it is. I have it up. Do you need me to resend it into chat into the chat,
Wait, how
or Valhalla
blockers are
you can see it?
how blockers interact with unaffected. It depends on what the effect is coming from.
All right, we got. But the thing
Like if
is,
the effect
but
says you can't, it's unaffected by Digimon card effects. If the blocker's card effect states that it has an effect when blocking, then that Digimon is basically a brick on block.
no. Well, no. The question is, does block? Does my question is it unaffected by blocking because some Digimon gain blocked by effects, and so does that? So does that is this
Yes,
is the problem when you
because
give
it's
when a Digimon,
unaffected
even your
by
Galamon, even
Digimon
when your
card
Galamon
effects.
says if you don't delete a Digimon, it gains blocker.
Yeah. So if I cannot as much of the skill as possible, a quote from our man, the myth, the legend from our Vanguard days, the ninja dragon. clan member.
We'll figure it out. Okay, waiting for Valhalla to finish what he's typing before we start into Mastermind. Because also Lux has said something that I want him to go first with it. No, redirect would not be redirect is an effect. Redirect because I know Black War Greymon's redirect will not trigger, but because that's well, that's the thing. Redirect affects the opponent's Digimon. That's the effect of opponent's Digimon. Blocking, that is my question. Does blocking get a thing? And that's where we're gonna have to find out later. And hopefully, during the right hopefully we find it during this podcast or the next episode of either podcast
Redirect
or the
via
episode.
blocker. Hmm.
That is the
I
question.
still think is the redirect an effect is where I was confused. If the redirect comes from an effect that if the effect comes from a Digimon,
Right.
that's where I would say then that Digimon is affected. That means the effect to redirect is negated.
Right. That's not a question. The question is, does the effect of it when you have zero thing does your opponents can be affected by Digimon's effect, but is blocking trigger either way? This is where I want to figure it out because this is because certain Digimon gain effect of blocking, but that affects their Digimon. But then
I say
that's
as long as the effect doesn't target my Digimon, it should be fine.
okay.
Like if I trigger the effect to block, or I'm choosing to block this attack, then the Digimon will have an effect that prevents it from. Yeah.
So in other words,
Let's
I can block
say
you with
let's
the
say we use
Black War Greymon X, and I be at 21,000, you minus, so I'm at 18,000. I still have enough to beat you. Gotcha.
more or less as long as the effect of blocking doesn't have an effect that hits the Digimon.
Okay. Because
Attacker A
that
cannot be
was a
affected
question that
by
we were trying to
blocker
figure
B,
out.
C, D.
Because as long as because again, if you guys, that was my big concern of the thing. Now, if
At least by my implications, I'm
we're
not
gonna
the guy
figure
that
it out
created the
either
card
by
game. I'm
before the
just
podcast
the person
gets
that's the
uploaded, so we
fix.
can have it in the podcast, or by next episode, because we're trying to
Heck, if
figure.
anyone in the comments is smarter than a 10th grader, they could probably give us the answer we need.
Yeah, that too. All right, we're gonna go to me and Valhalla's most annoying deck ever because we've been trying to top with this deck for the longest time. Mastermind.
Just do what the guy, just do what the people in Australia did.
Honestly, this
Simple.
is where I might be doing as well. As I am looking at the deck, and I know everyone else is, it's playing Kudamon, which I remember I said I was going to add to the deck. They're playing the Patamon, the Secret Rare Patamon. So I want to for
Now,
that.
unfortunately, I got a dip.
Oh, you have to dip.
I'll be probably back in 45 minutes.
So me and Valhalla will be talking about this deck ourselves. Understood.
Hey, but I'll be back. Bye-bye now.
All right, Valhalla, you there? All right, you're looking. So they're playing four of the Patamon from BT14. Look at your security stack. This Digimon may develop into a yellow Digimon card with vaccine and traits among them without paying its cost, and shuffle the security stack. if if Digivolve with this effect, you may place one yellow card from your vaccine from your vaccine trait from your hand at the bottom of your security stack. Honestly, I'm assuming you're playing it. More assuming you're playing this for it to combo into the either to Geo Greymon or any of the Gatomons. That's my only thoughts. What do you think is happening there? The one with barrier and the one with one Digivolving effect. Oh, wait, I just realized they finally gave us another Gatomon that searches. Jeez, I'm like stupid. Yeah, I agree. I just realized they actually gave us another Gatomon. I forgot about EX6 Gatomon came out. Dang. Yeah, well, I forgot. I've been playing Leviathanmon for a while, man. Ain't my fault. I've been playing with the crocodile. Uh, all jokes. Honestly, that makes sense to play it. Let's see how much, because we already know that deck is expensive, and we already know the deck is expensive. So let's see. Does this? Let's see how much the Patamons cost. Oh shit, $2. 189 is the lowest I've seen so far, but it's like around roughly around $2-3. That's not really bad. Wait, let me see the promo Mastermons. Those, because the thing is, they play the promo Mastermons. Mastermons, promo ones. How much is the promo ones? $20. Fuck. All right. Wait, it's based on the BT21. It's a promo card, so it came out in BT21. All right. Not bad. I think they're only playing it because it's so you can have a way to keep your Mastermons on the field. Because barrier is pretty good. I'm pretty sure that's why they're playing the Gatomon. That Gatomon. But it's not. I don't feel like that's the main focus. You get my point? Well, one gives you jamming, but you don't really need jam. You really don't want to worry about having jam. You don't. Honestly, both of these don't even feel like it's the right egg area to play. Honestly, because I don't know. Let me see something. So as I'm seeing right now, okay. So what I'm assuming is supposed to happen. I don't know. Shit. Okay, so this is what I'm assuming what's supposed to happen, Valhalla. So if you're looking at it, so you're supposed to have when you go into Mastermind. This is Mastermind. This is recover one. Place topic. Trash your point security card. When digivolved by trashing. Okay. So what I'm assuming is supposed to happen, and I'm pretty sure this is what is supposed to be the combo. So hear me. I could be wrong. DNA to promo Mastermon, because you're gonna have promo Mastermon. You're gonna have promo Mastermon, so that uh you're gonna put Gatomon onto the top. Since you it's one Digivolve, you're gonna trash the your top security card, which will be the Gatomon from BT15. And with Gatomon from BT15 is being played, whenever you attack, uh, you when attacking, I think you can trash the top card of your security. You will then use because then I'm trying to figure out what will be because I'm pretty sure you're supposed to use Scapegoat with Gatomon. So then Gatomon protects itself, gains Gem, and then it has then and then with that with because I'm thinking is you're gonna have this is the idea Lady Devimon with Scapegoat. Mastermon would target Gatomon. Gatomon would use Barrier, and then Barrier would trash the top card of security, and then you gain a memory for when a card is removed from your security attack. That's what I'm thinking is supposed to happen. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the idea combo with that. And like you said, that's a gimmick right there. But I still feel like this is not the right egg area either way. This thing has been RNG since its conception. We've been trying to make this consistent for a long time. Honestly, what will you change with this? What will you change this Gatomon for? Because for the chat, this is a question that he's been having with, and I kind of have to agree it's too much. I don't know, because either I don't know. I feel like something. I feel like this already. The problem is I don't know. Honestly, we gotta the same way with Gallantmon. We have to see it firsthand to try to figure out how this runs. Do you disagree? We could use practical Drazel time. Definitely a question that is not. That's definitely not a question. We will probably most likely at a later time when after either which will be uploaded later, where me and Valhalla will be testing Gallantmon and Mastermon on Project Drazel. If you guys have any decks you want to see work with it, send it our way. We'll also see if we can update it. We've been doing that. Plus, we will be also using the app of DPO when we just want to be where can show Valhalla while we can just figure it out that way as well. Do you disagree, Valhalla? We'll be probably fighting some randoms, some CPU, all that fun stuff. Valhalla, do you disagree? Agree? Yeah. Now, here's the thing. This isn't against anyone or anybody. If you ever want to play with us, come and hang out with us. We'll try to do some live streams of it when doing so, but it is. We'll figure this Gatomon if it's necessary and on another time. But this is definitely a questionable card. Again, we got. I don't. I feel like this is not the right egg area, but the yellow is the right base. Do you agree with me or disagree? Yeah, he agrees. It's that Geo Greymon just being that very much helpful to just play Mirai right off the bat. 100%. All right. It's using the EX6, which I knew about. Security attack -2 when. Okay, I feel like this is a better version of the starter deck. The EX6, I feel like, has been a better. The EX6 Lady Devimon and Angel Woman have been a better version of the starter decks. Lady Devimon, Angel Woman. Do you disagree or do you agree? Because it allows you to play Mirai from the trash and from your hand, one or the other. I feel like they're because while those older ones were pretty good, these this plays it a lot better. I agree. But do you feel like it should be which one would you prefer, SC10 or the new cards? Lady Devimon and Angelman. Okay, what? Okay, I'm because I my question has been, and I sorry for that delay of quietness, because I feel like the new Lady Devimon. Which one would you prefer, starter deck, or would you go with the new stuff? That is my question. I prefer. I think both are better than S than it. I feel like S the like EX6 Angelmon is an evolution of starter deck 10 Angelmon. So I think we're in agreement. I Yes, it's nice to recover stuff from trash with the ST10 Lady Devimon, but because of that thing, I think I would prefer. I think I would prefer this one over just because of one thing. Oh wait, that's a searcher. Right. That is a searcher. I feel like since we have now more searchers in the deck, my bad. Yeah, you're right. I feel like you have more searcher now in the deck with this Gatomon. You're playing the Kudomon, the new that EX6 Gatomon. You're playing Kudomon. You don't need it as much, so you can play. You can you can play the you can play Lady Devimon, so you can always play a Mirai in the trash. And then it allows you to be able to do more stuff. Okay, fair enough. So we can be in agreement that the only so right now our only question is the Gatomon, right?
I'm back in the first game. Here's Cat.
Okay, so right now we're talking. Lux is back. He has joined us back. We are talking about Gatomon. The BT15 Gatomon has been the only question so far about this deck. And on a later date we're gonna try to figure this out. Is it needed or not? We are currently in level 5 talks with the Angelomon. The basic stuff of the
Oh, look who
Angelomon.
else shows up. As
Somebody,
as
he's
soon as you bring up
here.
Andrew Woman.
We are talking
Sorry, what?
about the
As
new
soon as you
Mastermind
bring
deck.
up the waifu
And
cards.
we're gonna start to for the this episode will be out before the podcast. So it is. So somebody is joining us, and we were. That's why this episode is being recorded before the podcast. Somebody, you want to say hi?
Hello.
We were waiting for him to finish his stuff. We are gonna be because he said he was gonna be able to join, so we wanted to be patient. We will be just this. Like I said, this episode will be out before the podcast. And another thing is, we're gonna be studying. I know somebody 2000 has a lot of Reddit things ready, but we're gonna be
Oh,
starting
yeah.
off with
Man who dives into
Lux's
Reddit.
question
That is
from the
me.
last episode. All right. Uh,
Then we got the Falls W. Let's go.
we are going to. I wanted to finish this session with Valhalla. If Lux wants to join, I know somebody sounds like you're driving at the current moment.
I'm riding in the car.
Okay. We're currently discussing about the Mastermind deck. We're gonna I wanted to add, we're at level fives. We were just discussing about the EX6. No questions on there. All right, now my only question will be to Valhalla. Do you, the Angemon Ace. Do you feel like this card is necessary?
Let's see.
I'm gonna look at it.
I think it's fine, but not super necessary.
Yeah, well, somebody you do not have to say. You don't have to say his name. We have the on video.
Ace.
You can see
Oh,
Valhalla's
never mind it.
whole chat.
Force of Habit.
Oh,
It is a
I just wanted
very,
to
it
just
is
remind him.
very happy.
I made it so he can see. True, and I also feel, but here's the thing. You also remember this card is a you can use this on defense as well. So it's there. If you can find it, you can play. I feel like it's fine. I feel like you have no reason not to play this card, but I don't. You can't play Lucamon with the new Mastermons besides the Ace card.
Honestly, this ace
The
get
Mastermon Ace is,
nice.
but I don't. The Mastermind Ace is a two cost is played at two. You're more likely playing the new promo Mastermind, which is pretty nice. Well, honestly, I'm honestly not surprised. The honestly the best Mastermind so far out of all of them is probably, like, we can agree, is the promo Mastermind. It's not the promo. It's the Ace Mastermind. But the problem is it is, and I say this because it's counter locked, and I say this so much because I hate it's counter locked, and that's the reason why I see the reason why they're playing the Angemon Ace, because the blast DNA evolve, you need to have exactly Lady Devimon and Angelomon, and that kind of sucks when you know you can use just Lucamon as that other purple. Yes, but my thing is, why you have to play Anja Woman Ace. That's my reason why I think they play Anja Woman Ace. Do you get my point? Over Lucamon. Because honestly, I feel like the thing is you're more likely to, because I think uh Dominionmon and is just another one to help
Why?
you start. Dominion
Or
is
they
your
we
start. You
you
develop into
a lot of
Dominion so
people
you can
just
start
what
setting
they
up for the next stuff. But then you want to use Promo Mastermon so you can constantly just do more stuff, because you have to remember this, because the this Mastermon Ace is a dead card after DNA. So you're more focusing on this when attacking and constantly getting more bodies on field so you can continue plays. So then you could go
My
toward
dog.
Demon.
What the fuck?
100%. See, my whole thing is, I like the promo, but I wouldn't be playing the promo at 4. I I still feel like I still feel like Mastermind is right at 2. The Ace is right at 2, but I would do the promo at 2, and then I would use Mastermon from the starter deck still, just because it's not. I don't think it's slow. So let's first make that clear. I still think it's a fast card even in this current format, but it also it also allows you to feed off their other plays. So if you're constantly spamming out 6,000 DP Digimon, you are then also be able to delete their level Digimon's level. So you can constantly spam out Lady Devimons, Angelomons, Lady, all that stuff. Lady Devimons, Angelomons, or Gatomons, and you can continue to and you can continue to do a lot. You can do a lot more damage.
Ah,
What are you laughing at?
nothing. Nothing. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
It's
Anyway,
just because my brain works in a whole different way than and you're just like, excellent. Show them why you're more dangerous than me.
no, definitely
Anyway,
not. I'm not saying let
go
the
get
hate
back to your corner
consume you and just
publishing.
continue to pop off and let me not get caught in this.
Honestly,
Ah,
I think I honestly think I honestly think I honestly think this might be just super hype on the Mastermon over that like I feel like it has to be two and two. Dominionmon is honestly I believe Dominionmon was the other level 6 that we have been looking for in this deck because it allows you to play a level 5 or lower Digimon with Angel or Archangel, and that's and in other words that allows you to just get yourself. Yeah, I honestly will say I think this I honestly will think that I honestly think this is the I think the Minimon has been the Digimon we've been looking for as that. Or
Give me a
Digimon.
second.
It's either you're playing Digimon, Bethexmon, or you're playing freaking Shine Greymon Ruin Mode, and I think how this deck is or Digimon is the ideal card. Yes or no? For your level 7. Because if you were able to play Omnimon, Omnimon would have been the option instead. Obviously. But you can't. Yeah, we have to test it out to see it, but I feel like if it honestly, we know it's Frick Valhalla. Kyrie's back into the deck with Mirai and with both Mirais. I think Kyrie made sense over TK here. Do you disagree? I kind of disagree. Explain to me why. I disagree. Yes, let's start with 3, but I still don't disagree.
Okay, I'm
I
back.
still disagree. I think Kyrie's better. I really don't agree. I think Kyrie's better.
Uh, and she's all right. There's a reason why they limited her to like what 2 different cards. Her strongest card was literally in the beginning, first series.
Look, I think Kyrie is. I think Kyrie is better because the amount of stuff is getting removed from security. But I feel like with us removing two of the promo masterminds, you can play one Kyrie and with on TK. You get my point?
Uh-huh.
Because in the end of the day, but I still feel like Kyrie is still the ideal three setter because after yes, TK allows you to do all that, but Kyrie is where you're going to be mostly doing a lot of the stuff. Do you disagree with me, Josh? Explain why you disagree with me. Explain why you disagree with me. Well, but that you have to remember that's only on play. That's a one-time effect. So you only playing it. You plan to do that twice. That's my. That's why I think that TK is Kyrie is more important because she does more after just being played.
Meanwhile, I'm diving into magic on the side. Gosh, Taki mushrooms.
Even though you're not gonna fail, he's like, "Oh, we got to prepare for you." So instead of being like, "You got this," going up the other things to get to you. You know the neighbor. The neighbor is the neighbor's gonna go with whoever he feels like can make him look better. So enough. I mean, honestly, doing Michael is the Michael is preparing for the worst and not being the best because that's all he wants. He that's because he feels like if he's involved, if something happens, he's gonna be at fault for something that has nothing to do with him, and he keeps bringing this negativity to you. So I say this, I'm not gonna say it like I hurt my body. I don't see my body. He's just doing that. So I think he needs to be able to respect that you do not that if they're gonna say no, don't go to you don't even go to their house. You go to your cousin's house. So
Um,
and every time you gone to her, it has to help.
we're gonna have to make an editor's note to cut this entire segment out for him.
Indeed. So,
Rick Efron is
uh,
real nice. There's a family man.
so,
All right,
with that other
hold on.
thing
So
said,
Yeah, get ready to. You're gonna have to edit a lot later on, my
okay,
man's.
indeed. Can we agree to disagree?
Huh?
Valhalla, can we agree to disagree?
Depends on how much you're offering.
We agree to disagree because honestly, it is. Because I think Kyrie TK is good, but I think Kyrie is more important.
That's the first I agree to disagree I've ever seen from Valhalla.
Well,
Oh,
I think the problem is that we both because the problem is we know we're gonna need both Mires. It is who is gonna be our memory setter starter. Yeah, I agreed. I don't think we're gonna expect more of that. Yes, TK is. We gotta. This is a problem. We have two cards that we're gonna have to test at a later date, and it is. After that, everything else seems to be fine. All right, we're gentlemen. We're gonna be starting the podcast in a minute, and we're gonna close out this episode of saying that as much as we just spent an hour and a half, maybe. Uh, how long did we do this recording for? Nearly an hour and a half on these two decks, going depth on these two decks. We are going to
yep.
figure out if
Remember to
blocking.
edit out the stuff towards the end.
Yeah, we are gonna, like I said, we're gonna hopefully get an answer by the end of the podcast, or we're gonna head, or unless you guys have an idea, or we're gonna ask some, we're gonna find out by the next episode.
Mm-hmm.
We need to have a, we do need to get, it's running a little later than we had planned to start the podcast. We're gonna go start that next. We'll see you at the podcast, and remember one thing: when you want to, if you your best Digimon will be Dexmon, 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 because that mother fucker can reduce his Digivolution cost so small that he can still wipe the board. Does anybody disagree with me on that? No? Okay. Deuces.